Does getting off the floor feel harder than it used to? Maybe you avoid the floor at all costs. Or maybe getting down is fine, but getting up feels like an SOS. And listen, if that sounds familiar, you're not alone, and it doesn't mean that you're doomed. Getting up and down from the floor can start to feel like a whole different animal after 40, especially if you've been sitting more, moving in smaller ranges, recovering from an injury or illness, dealing with cranky knees, hips, feet, toes, ankles, the usual suspects. So in this video, I'm going to show you 3 simple movement nuggets that can help make getting off the floor easier. And when I say simple, I mean simple in complexity, not always simple in execution. So you'll see options for each one depending on where your body feels strong, where it feels unsure, and what range of motion is available to you. There are a lot of reasons the floor can start to feel less friendly. Maybe you've had knee or hip replacement, and bending deeply isn't really available to you. Maybe your feet, toes, ankles don't love being folded under you. Maybe you're recovering from an injury or illness, and your body needs a little pick-me-up, pun intended. Or maybe nothing dramatic happened at all. Maybe you sit more than you used to. Maybe you don't get down from the floor as often as you used to. Maybe your joints are stiffer from staying in the same positions all day and have lost a little their mojo simply because they're not being asked to do as much. And that's a big piece of this. Getting off the floor is one of those movements that look simple until your body starts giving you feedback. You need your hips, legs, core, hands, shoulders, balance, coordination to work together, usually while you're in an awkward position and trying to remember which limb goes where. It's usually more helpful to practice the pieces, changing levels, shifting your weight, using your hands for support, rotating and finding positions where your legs can actually help you, which is why just saying do more squats doesn't always solve the problem. Here's why I care about this so much. The floor is part of life. Maybe it's playing with young kids or grandkids. Maybe it's sitting with your dog. Maybe it's reaching something from a low cabinet, gardening, cleaning, stretching, or getting down to look under the couch because something mysteriously disappeared under there. And if you have dogs, you know exactly what I mean. But when we start avoiding the floor completely, it usually doesn't get easier. The body gets better at what we practice, and it also gets less confident with what we avoid. So the goal is not to force yourself down to the floor and hope for the best. The goal is to practice the pieces in a way that meets your body where it is. Because even if you never plan to hang out on the floor for fun, knowing you have options matters for your confidence, your independence, and your everyday life. The good news, you don't need a long, exhausting workout to start rebuilding this. A few minutes of consistent practice can help strengthen the pieces that make floor to stand movement easier. And perfection is not the point here. These 3 movements are about giving your body more options. So work within your abilities. Use support when you need and skip anything that doesn't feel appropriate for your body. All right, let's get into these 3 movements. First up is walk the plank. This helps you practice one of the big pieces of getting off the floor, changing levels without plopping or panicking. You're starting from standing, rolling down through your spine. Walk your hands forward into a plank shape, and then walking yourself back towards your feet to slowly roll up again. You can bend your knees as much as you need to, and I encourage you to bend those knees. This doesn't need to look fancy. You're practicing lowering and reaching towards the floor with control, supporting yourself through your hands and coming back up with a little more confidence. Because getting off the floor requires more than just stand up. You need to be able to shift your weight, use your hands, organize your body, and move between levels. That's what this nugget helps you practice. Next is butt roll to kneel. Very technical name, I know. This one is for when you're already on the floor, because before you can stand up, you usually have to find a position where your legs can actually help you. That means shifting your weight, rotating, and getting organized enough to move toward kneeling or another supported position. Start seated, roll across your butt, and find your way towards a kneeling position. Use your hands as much as you need to. Blocks work here too. Over time, you can play with using your hands a little less, but there is no prize for making this harder than it needs to be. This is about giving your body more options on the floor instead of feeling stuck once you get there. And if kneeling doesn't feel available for your knees or lower leg, take this to a chair. Sit near the edge, shift your weight to one hip, anchor your feet, and practice moving into a lunge. It's not the same exact shape as coming to kneeling, but it still teaches your body to shift, rotate, and organize itself for transitions. And these are huge pieces of getting up and down from the floor. The third nugget is split lunge to side plank, another stellar name. This nugget isn't meant to be your official floor to stand strategy. I mean, you could use it that way. You would absolutely impress all of your family and friends. But the real point of this one is to strengthen your body in different patterns, because life's movements are not always linear. You don't only move forward and backward. You turn, reach, shift, catch yourself, step sideways, and finger things out in weird little positions all day long. In this movement, the wide stance gives you space. The hands give you support, and your inner thighs help pull your legs towards each other so you're not just hanging out in your joints. Start in a wide split stance. Bend your knees and reach your hands to the floor inside of your foot. You can place blocks under your hands if the floor feels far away. From there, turn your back heel in and down so you can take more weight through the back leg. Then feel the front inner thigh pull in towards the supporting leg, almost like the legs are helping gather you together instead of collapsing apart. You can keep both hands down. You can keep the movement small. Or, if your body's ready for more challenge, you can lift the supporting leg side arm into the air and turn it into more of a side plank variation. This strength, mobility, and coordination all having a little meeting together. And again, it doesn't need to look impressive to be useful. The useful part is practicing how your body supports itself when you're low, turned, reaching, shifting, and moving through a less predictable pattern. That's real life. And I want to show you this comment because this is exactly the kind of thing I love to hear. Someone wrote, "I can get up and down more easily since I started doing some of your nuggets." And that is the point. These little movements may not look flashy. They may not look like some big intense workout, but practiced consistently, they can start to change how capable you feel in your everyday life. And that's what we're after here, a body that feels a little stronger, steadier, and more prepared for real life. If getting off the floor has started to feel harder, don't wait until it feels impossible. Start with small pieces. Practice the parts. Use support. Make it doable. Your body doesn't need perfection. It needs consistent reminders that it still has options. And if you want more movement like this, check out my free Everyday Strength Method. It's a 3-part video series that helps you build practical strength for real life. Things like getting off the floor, carrying groceries, feeling steadier, and moving with more confidence. The link is in the comments and the description. And let me know in the comments which part of getting off the floor feels hardest for you. Is it getting down, moving around once you're there, or getting back up? I hope this helps you keep moving with a little more confidence. I'll see you next time.